are you in hot pursuit of wholeness? Because what I want to give people is the whole version of myself. Because then I'm able to ask God, what does that look like to love Tammy well? Tammy hurt my feelings. She deeply betrayed me as a friend 10 years ago. I'm making things up. Don't email Tammy. But
I did. I'm sorry.
If that's the case, God can show me how to deal with that hurt. I don't have to ignore it. How to even set a healthy boundary and still be loving.
Wow.
See, because otherwise we'll just say, I'm cutting Tammy off.
Exactly.
But God doesn't cut us off. He sets boundaries for us, but he doesn't cut us off. And so if we don't let that healing and that wholeness drive the way we love, we will decide what's best. There was a person that hurt my feelings a few years ago, and then they ended up not being in my space anymore. They moved. I was like, oh, great. And so I was like, well, you know what? I've forgiven them. That's what I told myself. I worked through it. I knew what they did, blah, blah, blah. Well, then we had to be in the same space about 4 years later. And I could not believe the anxiety I was feeling in my heart, knowing we were about to be in the same room together. And I was like, you know what? It's because they said this and da-da-da. And God was like, no, it's because you haven't forgiven them. You haven't forgiven them. And so that means you're not loving them well. I was like, how do I love this person well?
Yeah.
And so he's like, ask me. Because I did not want to go have a conversation. And the Lord was like, I'm not going to make you have a conversation. Let's me and you talk about it. Do you wish well for that person? Do you want them to succeed? Do you want them to thrive? Do you care for their soul more than you care for how they hurt you? Like that kind of stuff. So that whole process, he was like, you love well. They may not talk to you. You may not need to talk to them, but first your heart has to be right.
Yes.
Because what if I put you in a room and I need you to pray for them? The way they hurt you is no excuse. He said, can I take you to the garden with my 3 closest men that failed me? I didn't cut them off. They fell asleep on me 3 times in my deepest need. I did not unfriend them. I didn't block them. I didn't say you're not invited. Matter of fact, I called one of them to lead the church. So he was like, you can't just be cutting people off. You got to ask me. And he prepared my heart. And when I got in the same room with that person, I just could not believe how light I felt. And we did some small talk, and I was like, man, I survived it. And then the person came up to me before I left, and out of the blue, they said, I know this may not make sense, but I need to apologize to you. I'm gonna cry. It was a whole moment.
Yes.
But I believe the Lord was challenging me to say, this apology cannot be the reason why you love well. Some people will never apologize. Some people are in the grave. They can't.
That's right.
You've got to be whole and know how to love the way I've asked you to, whether that person ever acknowledges or not.
Exactly.
The apology just felt like icing at that moment.
Exactly.
Where there was a moment where it would have been necessary for me to even engage. And that love, God was like, that's not how I love you. So it's not that hurt is not legitimate and pain and betrayal, but we've got to let the Lord drive how we're going to engage with people, because he'll show you how to do it and still represent him well.